Well, whether shooting straight from the hip or moving their lips, female leaders are sometimes under extra scrutiny for being too bold or too timid. And this morning we are going to take a look, a close one, at what some women in the spotlight have said and check the pulse of the people to see how their words were actually perceived. Joining us now is Lee Carter with Miss Lansky and Partners to evaluate. So we're going to start with a couple clips here. The first is Hillary Clinton and her remarks relating to Putin.
Well, he's very tough. He's a very arrogant person to deal with, which I think is a combination of this vision of Russia and some fundamental insecurity, because when you are dealing with him, he often acts as though he could care less.
Okay, Lisa, in your estimation, what does that mean when you see those numbers change?
Look, what it means is she's having a steady climb there, but she's not hitting it out of the park. I think Hillary has a tough road ahead of her, but what she's been doing recently is working for her. She's telling stories. She's demonstrating that she has experience without saying, hey, look at me, I've got so much experience. So this is working. It's not hitting it out of the park. It's not making people run for votes, but it is giving some context. It's saying maybe she is okay and experienced enough to be president.
What was the overall grade?
The overall grade here, I think, is just a B. It's not perfect, but it's not bad either.
Okay. So not bad is the key word there. Okay, now Joan Rivers, not mincing words here when it comes to the Mideast.
If New Jersey were firing rockets into New York, we would wipe them out. I am so bored. If we heard they were digging tunnels from New Jersey to New York, we would get rid of Jersey.
Strong statement from her. What do you think, Lee?
Listen, it's Joan Rivers being Joan Rivers. She was really clear where she stood, but she was overly passionate. So people wrote it off as just crazy. And so what we see is that a lot of times women get overly passionate or seem as emotional and just written off. And that's what happened with this statement.
Okay, so though it's strong in its words, perhaps the delivery was too strong. Overall grade?
I'd give her a C.
Okay, all right. We're going to move on to Madeleine Albright right here, what she has to say about Vladimir Putin.
I think that Putin is living in his own world. He has made up an awful lot of lies in terms of who is responsible for the fact that the Soviet Union disintegrated. He actually called that the greatest disaster of the 20th century. Hard to believe when there were 2 world wars that killed millions of people, among them Russians. So that's the first lie.
Looks like a steady climb there.
It was a very, very steady climb, and she kept getting higher and higher. The thing about what she did is she really demonstrated female leadership. She was calm, she was cool, she was collected, she was informed, and she was informative. And what we all took away from that is these little crumbs that we could follow along, and that at the end of the day, we were like, you know what, I'm going to follow her where she's going. And that's what leadership is about.
Really did. I actually felt that way. Overall grade for her?
I'd give her an A.
Okay. I'm going to give you an A. Lee Carter, thank you for being with us and your evaluation essential here.
Great.
Appreciate that.